From the Cal State University Fullerton campus, where learning is preeminent, we present Conversations with President Gordon and special guests.
Hello, I'm Dr. Lee Bentley Gonzalez, and along with Dr. Milton A. Gordon, the president of Cal State Fullerton, I want to welcome you to Conversations with President Gordon and special guests. Today we are here at the Cal State Fullerton Children's Center, and we're going to take a tour. And President Gordon, this is one of our newest facilities here at Cal State Fullerton.
Yes.
And also it educates our youngest students.
Right.
Now, is that unique to Cal State Fullerton because do the other 22 campuses have a resident child care center?
I don't know about that, but this was new in the last few years, and it has opened, and we were at the opening of it. But I'm not sure whether the other 22 campuses have an actual child care center on the campus.
Well, we can certainly say they probably don't have one as nice as this or as new
Right.
as this. And now let's bring on our special guest who's going to take us on a tour of this facility and give our viewers some background information.
Betsy Gibbs has been here now since 1974. A master's degree in education, Claremont University, BA in French literature, Pomona College, former lecturer, CSUF Child and Adolescent Studies in spring 2000, former lecturer, CSUF Child Development Program, late 70s, former teacher, Fullerton Community College, spring of 85, former coordinator, all-day program, Westside Montessori School, New York.
Welcome to the program, Betsy. And you have been the director of the Children's Center here at Cal State Fullerton since 1974, when it was off campus at a church. Now, I'm sure you had just graduated from the Children's Center when they made you the director. So tell us a little bit about your duties as the director today in 2011 versus the 1974 days.
Well, in 1974, the Children's Center was still very much of a grassroots enterprise. It was just getting off the ground. Students started it, and it almost lost its footing, but got established in a church facility. And we had 32 kids when we first started, 32 capacity. Built that up to about 54 at St. Andrew's Church in Fullerton. And then in 1979, some facilities came available here on campus. So we applied to use the T200 building, in the temporary area back in some of the old original buildings of the university. We moved there in 1979. At that time, we also got some funding from the Department of Education to allow us to take low-income students at a zero to nominal fee per day. So that grew us a little more. It allowed us to take in infants and toddlers for the first time, starting with children at 4 months of age. We had always served from about age 2 to 5, but now we're still able to do the younger ones. We just kept growing, and with growth, with funding and so forth, you get new criteria, new regulations, new quality standards, and all of that has gone into building the program's quality. I'd say we first got accredited sometime in the 80s. Or maybe it was the 90s, I'm not sure. And that again brought on more higher standards and wonderful new ways of doing things. So.
And Betsy, how many children do you have now?
Well, we have in this new facility, which has a capacity of 122, we have about 150 kids over the course of a week, but no more at any one time than, of course, the 122.
And President Gordon, what is the relationship between the Cal State Fullerton campus and the Children's Center here at Cal State Fullerton?
Well, our students actually use the Children's Center because we have a lot of students that have these young children. Yeah. And the students built this student center.
That's right.
They assessed themselves a fee several years ago, and that's how it has been built. Now some of the staff can also use it.
Yes.
The students have been very well and gracious in building this center.
Good. That's right.
And you've often said that our Cal State Fullerton students are some of the most generous
Right.
as far as paying forward for services that
Right.
they may never get to use.
Right.
So this is a perfect example of how they did that.
They did this well, yes.
And Betsy, before we take a look inside, tell me what it feels like to stand here and see your dream, something that you ate, slept, breathed, children's center being completed. What does it feel like to actually see it in reality and to actually be here in your final home?
Well, it is really a daily pleasure to walk in this area. It's a facility that has so many aesthetic qualities. It just feels wonderful that way. It feels wonderful also to have a place that supports the staff to do the kind of quality work they're trying to do. So we have certain parts of the center that we didn't have before. We made things accessible. The children can go directly to the yards from the classroom, so we can have an indoor-outdoor interface. We can also have cooking, lots of cooking in the rooms because we have kitchenettes for the kids. It's just it's a wonderful experience to have this beauty here for us.
Has it sunk in yet, or do you pinch yourself every day?
Well, I just keep going. Just keep going.
But I have noticed you have great security here.
Yes. Nobody can get in without being noticed.
Right.
And nobody can get out any of our gates without the alarm going off or something like that, so that we can keep the kids safe. We will eventually, the cameras will also be taking pictures of people as they leave the facility, so that we can always prevent abduction.
And that is certainly something
Right.
that's very, very good to know,
Right.
and I'm sure our viewers will appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look inside at this beautiful facility.
Okay,
All
here,
right.
come on in.
Well, Betsy, here we are in the lobby of the Children's Center. Tell us about the organization. We heard about your position as the director. So tell us about the organization, the staff, the hours, the ages of the students that come here.
Well, we open up at 7:30 every morning, close on Mondays through Thursdays at 7 p.m. so students can take the class that starts at 4. And we have, on Fridays, we close around 5:30. So we're serving youngest ones about 4 months of age, and the oldest ones have maybe already gone to kindergarten and come back after school to have some time here while their parents take afternoon classes. The Associated Students is the organization that established the Children's Center and is still the agency that operates the Children's Center.
And how about the staff itself? You have a very active student assistant and student internship program here.
That's right.
And tell us a little bit about that, and also the master teachers.
Yes, we have 7 master teachers. These are people who have great experience as well as credentials for their work. Then we have about 60 student employees who work in the classrooms up to 20 hours a week. Some of them work maybe as few as 10 hours a week, and all of them attend staff training and staff meetings. And on top of that, we have about 25 student interns each semester who are getting academic credit while they're doing their maybe 4 to 8 hours a week with our children. All of them stay in the same group of kids for the entire time they're here, so that they get good relationships with the children. The children have that kind of consistency.
And also, I think that would help support the child's development too, because they would see where to emphasize and to expand and to also to encourage. Now, you talked about outside, or when we were at the open, about how many students go here, how many children you have, and you have 150 over a period of a week, but your maximum would be 122.
That's correct.
At any given time, you can have only 122
That
children.
is correct, yes.
And that's of all the age ranges that you serve.
That's right.
And what is the oldest that you serve here?
Well, those kids who came back after kindergarten for the afternoon classes would be our oldest group at any time, and that's only in the afternoons. Once they hit first grade, they're pretty much ready to be in another environment.
And what about, is there a ratio of teacher to child to staff to student, any of that kind of ratio?
Very definitely, very definitely. With our youngest children, our infants, we have 1 adult for every 3 children. In our toddler group, we have 1 adult for every 4 children, and that goes all the way up till age 3. And at 3, it's 1 teacher for every 8 children. So we have a good number of adults with the children. And on top of the teaching group, the student assistants and the master teachers, the interns are above and beyond that ratio. So sometimes there might be one adult for two children in the infant room. It's good, lots of adult contact with the kids.
Certainly. And what about you're also very supportive of the parents of the children who go here. Tell us about the parent zone that's located here in the lobby.
Well, we have an area for the parents to study. We have a computer for them. Soon we'll have two. And they can print if they need to. They can meet together. There's a couple of couches where they can do their reading if they wish. They can wait for their child to wake up from a nap. We also have an area for lactation, which is open to anybody on campus. So if a parent is nursing the baby, we have a private area for that right here off the lobby. We find our parents enjoy having a place to relax or a place to study because there's so much of a need on this campus for places to just sit down and do your work. So.
And what about the impressive accreditation that the Children's Center here has accomplished? Tell us about that. What was the process? And that is for the National Association for the Education of Young Children.
That's right. At this time last year, we were doing our final preparations, getting hundreds and hundreds of documents and files together to be able to show the quality of our work. They have about 470 criteria that you want to show how you meet each one as best you can. And we're very pleased that we came through it with very high marks. The one thing they were hoping we would do a little better was our environment. And of course we built a building, so we did. We did improve the environment. We have more space and more appropriate space now. But it was a lot of work, as anybody knows that does accreditation. The college is very familiar with that, and it's no different for us. It's just as much.
And President Gordon, the Children's Center, like the 8 colleges here at Cal State Fullerton, is also accredited. What is accreditation and why is it so important to a university environment?
Well, accreditation is always going to be important, and the College of Business is also accredited, has special accreditation, but all of the colleges are going to have to go through accreditation, and it's going to be a great opportunity for them.
And let's talk about the building here because it's quite unique in the fact of the windows, the lighting, the design, the flooring. This was built to the standards of a LEED building. And tell us about that because it's quite unique.
Well, I know that throughout the CSU nowadays there's a desire for all buildings to meet some of the higher LEED standards for sustainability. So we used only materials that are sustainable. For example, our floors are linoleum instead of vinyl tile and so forth. We did not go for official LEED certification, but we use those standards as guidelines. We have wonderful natural light. You'll notice where we're standing right now, the light bulbs are not even turned on. We don't need them during a large part of the day. We're able to go with natural light. And these windows are on both the north and the south side of each building, so you get excellent light. We have, of course, computer controls on the heating and air conditioning and so forth, which is also an attempt to control that without overusing energy. We have low water requirements for our plant materials. We have our hot water for the sinks and so forth is all heated in a batch heater just as it's used. We don't have hot water heater tanks except in 2 places, one for the kitchen, which needs so much hot water, and for the washing machine. But mostly it's as much low energy use as we can do.
We have 2 other buildings on campus, President Gordon. We have the Student Rec Center, that is an award-winning building, and also the Arboretum. And Cal State Fullerton is currently looking to have a sustainable environment. Tell us about the efforts for the sustainable environment.
Well, I signed 2 agreements, the Tellurus Agreement and the Sustainability Act just last week.
What types of services are available to the Cal State Fullerton students here at the campus for the new Children's Center?
Well, they can have a schedule that is tailor-made for their campus needs. For example, match their class time and their study time. And in many cases, if they have a job nearby, we can accommodate that depending on how many units they're taking. So each child could be on an individual schedule. That is something I feel is real important because we're here specifically to serve this campus. If we were off campus, we might be having more people working a 9-10 hour childcare day, but this is not like that. So although some can have that type of time, we have ranges from about 8 hours a week to 48 hours a week. Individual children have different schedules like that.
And what about, does the center here provide any care for the auxiliary of Cal State Fullerton? For example, the alumni or the external volunteers or the campus community members?
Faculty and staff, we have about a 20% capacity for faculty and staff. However, for alums and volunteers, we have not yet done anything with that because the Associated Students underwrites the cost of our service. So we haven't gone outside the Associated Students, the faculty and the staff. However, alumni might have a consideration because they have paid a lot of fees toward this facility. The AS might want to talk about that if space is available.
Exactly. And what does a person need to do, a staff member, a faculty member, or a student, to do to have their child become part of the child care center? What is that process?
Well, they can contact us anytime by phone to get their name on a list. That is so that nobody has to stand in line to be first. Then we have applications that are filled out for each period they want. If they want fall, summer, spring, each one requires a new application because we assume most people will have a new schedule. We wait till the schedules are published and on sale at the bookstore or online, and then we accept the applications. They should get theirs in by the 15th of June for next fall, or the 15th of December for next spring, and we do accept them late if we can fit them in.
Perfect. Well, that's great information. How about if we go outside and take a look around there?
That's great.
Well, Betsy, here we are behind the turtle nest and butterfly rooms in the play area. So let's talk about that a little bit. First of all, tell us where they got their names, and then we'll talk about each individual room and the special amenities for the children.
Well, the nest is the place where the infants are, the baby room, and I think the nest just feels like a cozy place. The turtle room was named by the staff probably because we have a number of turtles and we enjoy them very much. Turtles aren't really the same speed as toddlers. We are much faster than the turtles, but it's really a fun, something the kids can relate to. And then the next room is called the butterfly room. And those are 2-year-olds who are metamorphosizing into 3-year-olds.
And how about the services? Let's start out with the nest. Talk about how many children are there, what types of services and the special amenities for the children there.
Well, the infant room takes in children, as I said earlier, about from 4 months on, and then the oldest ones in there in the fall semester might be 13 months, and then of course as the year goes on they stay in that room so that they're all with their friends and their staff together. Now they have 2 different menus because they may be on baby jar food or they may be on table food that's cut up specially and softened just at their textures that they need. They each have their own formula that they need, and the type of bottle is even dictated by the child's preference and the parent's choice. So, and we do provide all of that, all the food and the formula. We also have, we provide the diapers for the children, and so they have a chute that sends the diapers right outside, so they're no longer in the room. Mm-hmm.
The diaper chute.
Yes, the diaper chute. We like that.
Well, now the next room you have here is the turtle room. So let's talk a little bit about that. What is the ages there, and also the services that are available for those children?
Well, as in the nest, it's again individualized programming, but they do all eat together at tables, and they learn how to help themselves somewhat to the food. We try to serve family style, and that's true throughout the rest of the center. The educational program is designed around their developmental needs, the kinds of materials they need. They need more than one of everything, because whatever you see is yours if you're a toddler. So you absolutely have to have a numerous copies of each of the types of materials we give them. They did very sensory age, lots of things to touch and feel and move around. We do have a sandbox for them. They don't often eat it, but sometimes they do. But they really enjoy playing in the sand, and that's true again throughout the center. Water play is another thing that's fun for that age group.
Now you talk a lot about the kitchen that you have here. Let's talk a little bit about that, because in each of the rooms that we're going to be seeing, you have a kitchenette there that is serviced by the bigger kitchen here for the whole center. So tell us about that.
Well, that's right. The main kitchen prepares the meals. We start with breakfast, we have lunch, we have an afternoon snack, and then we also serve supper. So food is brought from the main kitchen to each kitchenette, where the teachers can divide it into serving dishes, because we do serve family style, and then that be placed on the tables within each age group. So it also enables the teachers to do more cooking with the children. They can quickly get the materials together for cooking projects and wash up afterwards. The infant kitchen even contains a dishwasher and a washing machine, and that's because they have so many things extra to wash. The other classrooms don't have that. But
and what about the butterfly room? Because that's, again, your metamorphosis room. So tell us a little about that age and also the services there.
Well, again, as in all the rooms, the program is developmentally designed based on the observation and the assessment of the children. What are their next learning needs? What's the level that they're about to go to? And that it be varied among different children, but the teacher does a complex assessment. They have about 42 different items that they assess and look at and see where the development is going, and then offer design activities to promote the next thing that the children are ready for, either on an individual basis or for the group.
And President Gordon, what is the added benefit to the campus, the added value to our campus of having the Children's Center here at Cal State Fullerton?
It's a great advantage, and we built this, as I said, new. The students built this facility, but it's a wonderful advantage.
Well, let's go to the next area.
All right.
Let's see what's next to it. Well, here we are, Betsy, at the Courtyard, and this is a beautiful courtyard, and of course there's some very special residents at the other end of the courtyard. Tell us about those, because they actually made the move with you.
Yes, we brought our desert tortoise with us, and 6 box turtles that had been living with us over at the old Children's Center. They were in hibernation, but came out just in time to make the move, and then they went back into their shells until a couple weeks ago, and now we're feeding them on a regular basis. The desert tortoise has been with us since probably about 1983. I don't know exactly.
Really?
Yes, and he's quite old. Back then, the vet told me he was 75, but I don't know if it was true. So, but he's very special to me. And then the little box turtles are fun. The children really enjoy that. The other day, I had them help me feed them, and then I told them, please go draw me some pictures of the tortoises and the tortoise and the turtles. And they did. They brought me these wonderful drawings of the turtles. So,
and do you place the drawings around the center, or
well,
do they
I
go home
placed
with
them in the lobby for everybody to see for a couple of days, and then I'm not sure yet where they're. I put them up in one of our event rooms for display, but I'm trying to give the kids the idea that they use their drawings, they put down their thinking on paper, and that they can represent things that they're thinking about, that they care about, by drawing. And so I'm not just drawing, but drawing something that I'm thinking about.
Exactly. Now, very close to here, we have an area called Fred's Meadow.
Yes, indeed.
That's under development. And tell us about that. How did it get its name, and what will eventually be there once it's developed?
Well, Fred's Meadow is named after Fred Sanchez, the Associated Students Executive Director. And it's named for him at the moment because we didn't originally plan to fence it in and make it part of the center. We cut our costs down and during the planning stage by leaving it out. And we came into some good luck during the construction process and found that we could afford to do it. Fred very much wanted to do it because it makes the shape of the land much more reasonable, much better. And the meadow is going to be as natural a place as we can make it. It's meant to be a place where kids can go and experience things that aren't totally man-made. That have a nature exploring place. It has a pathway through it now. The grasses are going to take some time to grow in. We put in a type of drought-tolerant plant grass called buffalo grass. It's not going to need to be mowed. It's going to have that meadow feeling to it. We're also going to bring some boulders in. Bev Vargas, our assistant director, is designing a mini amphitheater, which will be made of stones. One of the fathers, who's in the business School of Business, has a project this semester where he is to try to get a company, off-campus company, to do something for some project that he cares about. Well, he's working with some potential donors who might be able to help us create this amphitheater. So one of our dads is helping us grow the program this way.
And that's another example of how Cal State Fullerton family always helps out each other, how they take care of each other. Yes. And how important are partnerships, off-campus partnerships to our campus? Not only this type of facility like the Children's Center, but also the other facilities here on campus.
Our partnerships are really very important to all of us. And we have so many partnerships now, especially with the international universities. It's been great.
And it's very nice to hear, as you say, a father steps up, he sees a need, and he creates the connection, the collaboration. So
yes, very nice.
Now, right here close to us is the bird cage.
Yes.
So tell us about that and also the unique residence there.
Well, this is another thing that was probably way back when started by a parent who had the idea of giving us some cockatiels. So we, back at the old Children's Center, we built a special aviary for them. It was actually built by a work study student. And when we moved here, we knew we wanted our aviary, we wanted our bird cage. So we brought with us the cockatiels, we brought some doves, lots and lots of zebra finches, that many of them have hatched right here, right within our aviary, because there's always ongoing bird egg laying and hatching going. So if I get too many, I give them away, or I take them to the bird farm and they give me a little money till I can buy more bird food.
Well, what's nice is everything seems to be hatching here, because when we came in the lobby, you have brand new chickens.
That's right.
That's
right.
Chicks.
Yep.
And just in time for Easter, so that's quite nice for the children. There's a lot of learning opportunities around. It seems like you turn everything into a learning opportunity for the children, not only such as the drawings, the hatching of the animals, and just the environment. And I think it's a wonderful way that this Children's Center encourages the learning of our youngest students.
Well, they're going to learn no matter what. So we want them to learn things that are very useful to them and that they love. And we want to create a love of the natural world. That's one of our goals, is that children care about the earth. So these are some of the ways that we do it very easily.
And we have also two special residents, one that's been with you a while, named Dexter.
Yes, Dexter.
And then he has a soulmate named Sugar. Are they a couple, or
Well, they often are a couple. Sugar and Dexter are our rabbits. Dexter was dumped over the fence one day, and he's turned into a wonderful pet. And Sugar was given to us by a former teacher who raised a very special kind of rabbit who makes an excellent pet. They both got out together in March, and we were expecting babies, but that didn't turn out very successfully. But Dexter has a problem right now. He gets out of the 2-foot fence was not high enough for him, so we're working on a way to keep him in, because we love to let them out of their cage so they can hop around their play yard, just like the kids.
And so that the kids can be a part of their environment, and be a part of
they feed them.
Yeah. And President Gordon, when we talked earlier about that this is a children's center, this is a ASI student building. Tell us what that means, because a lot of people would say, how could we build a facility like this right now when we're in a budget crunch or we have financial crisis?
Well, the students established a certain fee several years ago They built the entire facility, but that's not only what they have built on the campus, because they built the rec center, and they have great care for the campus.
Yeah.
And so I know their commitment to all of these student projects.
And this is similar to the parking structures where the money comes from a separate fund, so it's not really out of the
Right.
state budget, or it's not encroaching or
Right.
impacting anything else. All right, let's go to the next area.
All right, let's do that.
And Betsy, here we are outside of the rainbow, the sunshine, and the garden room. So tell us about that. And plus we have the nice garden behind us. So let's talk about all those areas. And first we'll start with the rooms. How did they get their names?
Well, the Sunshine Room and the Rainbow Room were named when we were back at St. Andrew's Episcopal Church, and we just carried those with us. They were just chosen by the teachers because they were things the kids relate to, good images. And the garden room was developed when we had our first children's garden. The classroom was nearby, and the teacher chose the name Garden Room. There's another room in this building as well, the Bunny Room, which is the brand new one that we added when we got this, when we created the new facility. So we have a fourth preschool room. These kids in this building are from about 2.5 at the earliest to 5 going on 6. So,
And do you have graduates from the other rooms, the turtle, the nest, and the butterfly, that come over here and graduate to this room?
oh, of course, of course. As long as the children stay with us, they move from room to room. Sometimes they leapfrog over one age group, because when you have 6 or 7 rooms and only 5 years of age, you skip things sometimes. But as much as possible, they make such good friendships. We try to keep them together with those friends. We don't want them to experience this as a big institution. We want them to feel a sense of community and family. So we try to keep the groups limited in the number of human contacts that you have and so forth, and yet at the same time giving them new stimulation.
And how about, let's start again with the Sunshine Room. Talk about the services and the amenities there.
Well, the Sunshine Room is our seniors. These are the oldest kids who are going to go to kindergarten next year, most likely. Not every one of them will go. Some will need an extra year or choose an extra year. But most of them are getting ready for that new experience. There's a lot of writing going on. First, they work with writing their names, and we try to blend the writing into a natural kind of environment, not, sit down and copy these things. But do you want to say something about that? You want to write something on your picture, that kind of thing? They'll watch the teacher do the writing, or they'll actually be ready to try it themselves. So they have a writing center. They actually have some computers that they are using, and our next step with that will probably be to connect them to the internet for research purposes when they have a question about something. But up to now, it's been using other computer programs that let them make choices and try things out. They're getting pretty good at that. It's another room where there's get early math, which actually starts with our infants, but that's the most noticeable room, because that's again something that they're going to want those skills in kindergarten.
And how about the Rainbow Room? What about the age group there, and also the types of services that are available for them?
Well, the Rainbow Room kids, some of them are also going to go to kindergarten, so it's a mixed age group in that sense. They happen to have a teacher. Kathy Higa is, again, another one of our outstanding teachers, and she's very good at cooking with children. So they're often cooking something new. Last week, they received a box from the Community Supported Agriculture Program, and it was hiding in their refrigerator. So Kathy opened a note from Farmer Tanaka, who has left them this box of vegetables and fruits. So they were very interested to open the box and see what was in it, and Kathy had a plan that they could make a fruit and vegetable salad, which they did, and incredibly, enjoyed it. They talked about it even at supper time. The salad they got at dinner was not the salad they had made. Oh no, this is not our salad. But they still were interested in eating it. We're very interested in helping them expand their taste for vegetables. So this is something Kathy's trying with the kids, that among other kinds of things. But they're just doing a lot of art, and there's not really a lot of difference between the kinds of things we do in the different rooms, just there's a different skill level or developmental level on the part of the children. But it's all the same. Everybody's doing something with math, something with reading, something with writing,
Preparing them for the
language
next
development,
level.
vocabulary. It's all a thread throughout, yeah.
And let's talk a little bit about the garden that's out here
Yes,
behind
yes,
us.
yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the children love planting. They love watering, and they love pulling weeds. They love tasting things. And so we've got 6 beds that they can specifically plant in, but these beds don't have any sprinklers, so they have to do all the watering. They planted the corn, they planted the pumpkins, they planted some of the flowers were from little pots and some of them are from seed. So they've got a huge amount of things coming forward. They've got tomato plants, so we'll be able to do some tomato sauce, probably make some pizza with it. Then there's these little trees that are not very big yet. This is our orchard. We have tangerines, apricots, apples, lemons, and peaches.
And something else that you have that encourages learning for these students is the library. Tell us about the library, because that's located in these rooms as well.
Yes, we have a small children's library. First time we've ever had that. They can come in, even the babies can come over and go in the library. We have some small board books for them. We're about to receive a whole shipment of brand new wonderful books that were donated by a former teacher here who gave us a wonderful gift toward developing that library. It's just a small room that kind of emphasizes the value of just books. Of course, puppets and things like that, but mostly just to go and really revel in the enjoyment of the books.
And each of the rooms, on both sides, have their own play areas that support that age group. Do they
That's
ever
right.
mix the play areas?
Well, in the preschool yard, which we'll see in a minute, there's no separation. So that the children from Bunny Room, Garden Room, Rainbow Room, and Sunshine Room use the same area. It's designed from ages 2 to 5, so it works for all of them. And we're on a mission now to develop the outdoors as a place where you do all kinds of learning. The same kind of learning you do indoors, you may do outdoors. The same
An outdoor
activities.
classroom,
It's
yeah.
called the outdoor classroom, and we have some of our staff going to training. It's a whole field of endeavor trying to help combat the insideness and the what one man has called nature deficit disorder that people have, because our lives are so circumscribed now, and outdoor freedom is not there for kids the way it was long ago. So this is an opportunity we have to try to enhance that. We give them some natural areas to play. They have kind of an area with logs and...
How about if we go there right now? Let's go to the play
take a look.
area.
Yeah.
Well, Betsy, here we are in the outside play area that we spoke of in front of the rainbow, the sunshine, and all the rooms in the garden room. So let's talk about this play area. Tell us about what's special about it, who does it support, and how it's being used as an outdoor classroom.
Well, of course, it's very large. It's larger than it is required to be because the requirements are very limited. So this is a park for the children. They have opportunities to do the usual swings and climbing and so forth. They also have their sand area with access to water, because again, the sand and the water work so well together for all the cooking that they like to do in the playhouse and so forth and so on. They have a teeter-totter that's from Denmark. They have a train that we brought with us from the old Children's Center, and a boat that you can you do lots of imaginative things with. They even have an area of we call loose parts. And loose parts are things that you can move around. You can create your own idea of what you want it to be. You can decide, I'm going to build a auto mechanic shop. You can decide that you want to build a rocket ship. You can build make the environment what you want it to be with things that the adult didn't figure out before you, which I think is so important. I think we all had that as kids, and we remember those times we were free and we had nobody telling us what to do exactly. So we try to give them that kind of opportunity to, and then we try to enhance it as we notice what they're interested in. We've got pine cones in little tables that have so they can sort and notice beautiful stones, other kinds of objects that they can arrange and make just a beautiful arrangement or a picture with some of these things. They do a lot of socializing. They have each other. They play run, and the bicycle trail that they have for their trikes goes from way far down there to way over here. It's so long that I'm hoping we give them good exercise. And
I'm sure they rest well at night.
Yes, they also they aren't as obsessed with the bikes as they were in the old Children's Center, because there's so much to do here, and there's just so much, the freedom that you have in this amount of space. It's just wonderful.
Talk briefly about the unique things that you brought from Denmark, like the teeter-totter, like the water spout and the sandbox. Let's talk a little bit about those.
The tater-totter device is large enough for quite a lot of children at once. If you got 4 on each end, it wouldn't even be crowded, and there's room in the middle for it. That's made by a company that's based in Denmark. They do a lot of research on what is good for kids and what's very, very safe at the same time as it's imaginative. And then these water spouts that you mentioned are something very dear to us that they went right for as soon as they saw them. They knew exactly how to turn on that water, and it runs down a little dry creek bed. So they have that, they can see it flow just like a real stream, but they have control of that. And then they can get water to put with their other things.
And you're also going to be collecting rainwater here in the center as well, because you have some rain barrels that you're going to be collecting that as well. Now, what about the sandbox? What's unique about the sandbox?
Well, I suppose one thing is that it's very big, and so there's room for quite a lot of kids to play. There's quite a lot of different implements to use there, and it's right next to the playhouse. So you can take your sand right where you want it and cook with it.
And also very close to the water spout too, as we've observed. So, well, now, what is the favorite part of this area for the children?
The swings are new for us. We never had swings before. We had a tire swing, but not the individual swings. And swinging is a very healthy thing to do. It's good for the vestibular system. It's good for soothing. Kids need a chance to get away from each other too. They need, if they're always with people, they need a chance to kind of decompress and get some peaceful, quiet time. And I think there's places for that out here as well.
Exactly. And President Carter, we've seen a lot of students here today.
Right.
Any potential President scholars in this group that we've seen?
I don't know about that, yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I can think of a few.
Right.
Well, now the last thing I wanted to ask about was the trees. We've got 3 beautiful ficus trees. They're ficus trees. Were these here? You left them here?
Yes.
You built around them? You chose to keep them? Or?
Exactly. They were very obvious when we finally decided on this location. They were very obvious treasures, and something that we left behind a lot of lovely big trees. But these were here. We knew we were going to keep them and design in such a way to make the best use of them. And we're enjoying the one in the parking lot. Has a crow nest And some of our teachers are watching the crow going in and out feeding their babies. But these are treasures. They're huge.
A children's center and a nature magnet.
Right.
That's right.
Because
Right.
we have the chickens hatching, the crow's nest. Oh, it's so wonderful. Well, we certainly thank you for joining us.
you're very,
today.
very
It's been a pleasure.
Right.
Let's go to the next area.
Okay.
Well, here we are right back where we started. And Betsy, your time here at the Children's Center has certainly been impressive. And there's been a lot of positive changes thanks to you. What stands out most in your mind as far as the evolution of the center over the years since you've been with us since 1974, how it's expanded, and why do you think our center here at Cal State Fullerton, the Children's Center, has been so successful?
Well, I think one of the things that makes such a difference is the staff. That everything matters, that everything about the staff is what makes a difference. The master teachers that we have are so qualified. We counted up the years among them is about 175 years at this center among the 9 folks that I'm talking about. We have excellent support staff, our cook, our Dana Diamond, our handyman, who is awesome, and our front office is well managed. But I think we also have a philosophy that works really, really well. And I think when children arrive here and parents arrive here, they sense that they are individually respected for their unique needs. And so nobody is put into a pigeonhole. And I think that comes across somehow through the atmosphere that gives people a sense of comfort.
And over the years, just an interesting question, because you've been with us since 1974, I am sure that you had students that were Children's Center students then who've now come back to campus either as a student or as a Cal State Fullerton student with a student that now they put in the Children's Center, or just to come back to say hi. Has that ever happened?
Oh yes, that has happened.
Do you recognize them?
Sometimes, not always. No, but some also went on to become faculty here. Mm-hmm. So we've got some ongoing relationships with former students who are now working for Cal State Fullerton. One of the best ones was when a dad brought his daughter for her summer before she started her freshman year, and he himself had been a student here during the time we were trying to raise the money to start the facility. So he had been through the whole process with us, and it was real fun to have him come by with his daughter.
Now, President Gordon, we also might say that we're probably unique in the sense that offering the child care services here and having it right on the facility makes us able to have education in a whole range from birth right into the senior citizen years.
Right.
Are there any plans to build a cemetery so nobody ever has to leave Cal State Fullerton?
No, I don't think there's any plans for that. But yeah, no, it offers us a great opportunity, though. Yeah.
It certainly does, to have a whole range of education.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
And Betsy, last question. We've given a lot of contact information about the program today throughout the Children's Center tour. What would be a good contact number or contact information for our viewers if they would like to maybe get further information?
Well, the phone number of the center is 657-278-2961, and our website is at asi.fullerton.edu.
Well, thank you so much for taking us on this.
It was my
It's been
pleasure.
absolutely delightful, and we wish you continued success to you, your staff, the children, and the center.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you for watching today and invite you to join us again for another Conversations with President Gordon and special guest. From the Cal State Fullerton campus, where learning is preeminent, I'm Dr. Lee Bentley Gonzalez. Have a nice week, and we'll see you next time.